Mortgage fraud against forcing major financial institutions. They're forcing government officials to weigh their options here, including a foreclosure freeze. Bank of America was the first bank to halt foreclosures last week. Short sales aren't much of an option these days either. And to sort all of this financial mess out, our expert, Chip Cummings. Chip, thanks for being with us this morning.
Great to be back, Mike.
What is going on?
Well, a lot of uncertainty right now. You know, a lot of West Michigan homeowners are asking, am I really going to go into foreclosure? Is this really going to happen? And the answer is eventually yes. Right. And Michigan is sort of an exception because our laws are a little bit different than others. But yet many of the major banks have now halted foreclosures to make sure that, A, they're legal and that they're being done properly.
Why would they not be legal? I mean, isn't there a process in place to take care of these things?
Well, there is, and there's a couple different problems. One, we have an electronic registry system that some judges are saying does not have the power to go ahead and force these foreclosures. And then we also have some automated document signing situations where we don't have real signatures on these documents, and in order for it to be a valid contract, we've got to be able to establish that that contract was entered in legally. So.
All right, so some folks here who are thinking, oh boy, do I get a reprieve or am I not going to get a reprieve? That is yet to be ironed out, I guess.
Well, it is. Part of it depends on your lender, unfortunately, and that's a sad situation. It shouldn't be that way. But some lenders, Bank of America, as you had mentioned, also Ally and Chase, many of the national lenders have now halted foreclosures while they sort this out. Some other lenders, such as Wells Fargo, have said, no, we're going to proceed as everything on schedule and get these foreclosures. Now, theoretically, the faster we get through this cycle, the better. And as soon as we get these properties back on the market in homes of people or in hands of people that can then live in them again, we'll be able to get out of this foreclosure mess a lot faster. We've got 1.2 million of them coming on the next year.
No kidding.
Yeah, it's going to be another rough year.
And that kind of leads me, and you may have already touched on it a bit, but what does this do for the housing industry now? I mean, the way that is freezing all these foreclosures.
Well, ironically, two things. It's not going to bring some of those foreclosure properties onto the market. So actually the inventory is going to have a chance to sort of catch up. We've got anywhere from an 18 to 24-month inventory in most areas of properties. And so buyers have a field day right now in terms of picking a property. So we're not going to see some new properties coming on the market. On the bad side, however, is once those start to free up, we're going to see a whole bunch of new ones come on. And then all of a sudden it's going to start to depress values again. And so homeowners that are sitting in their homes trying to sell, there may be a short window where they can get what they may consider top dollar, but it may get rough again early next year.
I got to tell you, I'm kind of happy I'm sitting in my place right now. I'm just going to stay where I am.
Investor, good time though.
Right, it's true. What about short sales? Is that a completely out the window idea now?
Well, it's not out the window, but obviously with the problems that you see in the foreclosure side, a lot of people are waiting, saying, wait a minute, we don't have to negotiate this yet until we figure out what's going to happen. And so short sales are taking a long time. The banks are not cooperating as much as we'd like them to, but short sales are still an option.
Okay, and just really quickly, what do you recommend for folks who are maybe having some issues with their mortgages concerning foreclosures? Contact their lender?
Yes. Don't ignore it. That's the worst thing that homeowners can do is ignore the situation. They need to contact their lender. Try and go through what's called a loss mitigation process and a modification of your existing loan.
Okay.
And many lenders are really receptive to that because they want to keep that loan on the books.
All right, Chip, great to see you. Great information as always. We appreciate it, sir. It is 8:43. Stay with us. We'll be back on the other side of the break.